Tariq Khan was saying is be careful. I was very precise in saying how do we deal with different religion, and I was speaking about the monotheistic tradition, the way it's perceived from within the tradition, but it's not the end of the story. You refer to some of the verses that are referring to this diversity, but it's deeper than this. It's the understanding that not only there is a chronology, but the will of God was, from the very beginning, for all of us to live in a world of diversity. Why? Because you have the verse, وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسِ بَعْضَهُم بِبَعْضٍ لَفَسَدَتِ الْأَرْضِ. In another verse is لَهُدِّمَتْ صَوَامِعُ وَبِيَعٌ وَصَلَوَاتٌ وَمَسَاجِدُ يُذْكَرُ فِيهَا اسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا, which is exactly related here to the diversity of religion. If God had not put a set of people against this, competing with others, you would have, monastery and synagogues and mosques being destroyed. So in fact, this diversity is helping us to deal with diversity. Meaning what? That it's not only within history, that you have to acknowledge the fact that there are roots that are to be followed by other people. This is their way to be close to God. In my next book, the next book which is going to be published in 2 months, it's called The Quest for Meaning, Developing a Philosophy of Pluralism. I am using the parable or the image of the mountain. At the top, we have the shared principles and the shared values and the shared religious teachings or philosophical teaching. But we have different routes helping us to go to the summit. And this has to be respected. Now, what is my position as a Muslim as for the other routes is exactly to say they might be right, wallahu a'lam. God knows best. And I would say that if we want to be serious with our respective religious communities, is not to make things relative, because it's not going to work. It's easier to have a dogmatic mind than to have a mind which is convinced by his or her principles, but suspending the judgment as to the other. And I think that this has to do with pedagogy. But on this, in the classical Islamic traditions, we had debates among scholars, and it's an ongoing debate. And this is why I think it's quite important to start with a discussion on salvation, to be able to talk on this ourselves. But then, and this I hope will be our challenge, you and me and all of us, is how do you reach our respective communities and the people? Because at the end of the day, what we want is let us speak about our respective way of dealing with salvation and respect towards other ways. Now, as to the truth within it, I don't know. Allahu A'lam.
Please join me in thanking.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, and have a nice conference over there. Sorry for not being with you.
Thank you.